watching Equus News.
Good morning. I'm Marissa Cloutier reporting to you for Equus News from our studio in Groseal, Michigan. We have a very special segment lined up today for all you horse-crazy women out there and for those of you who have to live with us. Statistics show that women dominate the modern horse world. Female membership in the AQHA, the largest equine organization in the world, is at 75%. The readers of Horse and Rider magazine are 80% female. If you pay a visit to any equestrian facility, you will find that the majority of riders and horse owners are indeed women. Although women dominate the horse world today, this has not always been the case. Studies have shown that women have only dominated the equine world for 140 years. Today we will examine exactly why this is the case and what the experts have to say about it. We all know that men and women have always had their differences. Anatomy aside, the primary distinction between men and women is purely psychological. It has been proven that female humans and horses value relationships and intelligence above all. Male humans and most other mammals tend to value territory. Although these may seem like simple facts, they are the key to explaining why women came to dominate the equine world approximately 140 years ago. Before the late 1880s, horses were used by men as beasts of burden, modes of transportation, and important tools in warfare. In other words, horses were the most efficient means by which men could acquire territory. However, during the late 1800s, technology improved and machines, including trains and automobiles, replaced horses because they were stronger, more reliable, and required less care. Because the primary concern of men has always been to acquire the most territory, they abandoned the horse during this period in order to make use of tools that were much more efficient. Upon replacing the horse with machinery around the year 1880, men left equines primarily in the care of women. Unlike men, who view the horse as a tool, women feel an emotional connection with the horse that cannot be replaced by technology. This bond is due to the relationships that women develop with their horses. These relationships are developed for many reasons, including the similarities in women and horses' values and the ways they express themselves. These strong bonds are also developed because often a horse is one of the only constant factors in a woman's life. A horse will always be willing to listen and, according to some, understand whatever may be bothering its female human companion. Horse-crazy women often say if they are sad, their horses will give them nudges of understanding and reassurance. Here to explain her opinion of why women are so involved with horses is our expert Kirsten, who works at the Nancy G. Held Equestrian Center at Albion College.
So the guys I rode with in high school, there were just a couple, but they kind of stopped riding a little bit later on, partially I think because there were other pressures coming from it, and I think there were a couple guys that started riding because their moms kind of pushed them into it, and then they get into high school and they start playing football and baseball and going to those camps in the summer, and I feel like there's almost, people talk about the stereotype with girls and horses, and I think that that's actually kind of true, because even if you're walking around a barn, just watching the way that girls talk to the horses and the way guys talk to them, there's a little bit of a difference just with the sensitivity that's coming out, and I feel like there's almost more of an emotional attachment that girls develop, and it's more rare for a guy to find that same kind of emotional attachment. And I think it's just kind of a cultural idea that guys in America think that riding, if you're going to do cowboy stuff, then that's cool, but obviously you're going to find that more out west than you are here, especially when you still have the working ranches. But the stuff we do, dressage and the jumping, it's only cool if you're jumping really high, or you're riding at the really high levels, or if your horse is kind of an ass, so you have to be a little harder with them, so you're showing off how good you are at something. I think that it becomes more of a competition for them, and then they also get intimidated by the fact that there are so many girls who are really good riders.
According to the recruitment and marketing coordinator of the Nancy G. Held Equestrian Center, Randy Heathman, there are currently no men enrolled in the facilities program, and the most men they have had enrolled in the program at once is 2. In comparison, there are 40 to 50 female riders currently enrolled in the Equestrian Center's programs. Like Kirsten said, the mere number of women involved with horses can surely be intimidating to men. Men can also be intimidated by horses for other reasons as well. The relationships between women and their horses are often so strong that husbands and boyfriends have been known to become very jealous of their lover's horse. Often a husband feels that his woman is his territory and that she should not be spending so much time with and be so emotionally involved with her horse. He sees the horse as a threat to his property, while his wife likely views her connection with the horse as an enriching and stable relationship. The Nancy G. Held Equestrian Center is an excellent example of women's domination of the modern horse world. Like our expert Kirsten said, women just seem to communicate with horses much differently than men. They have a much stronger and deeper connection, one that will never be broken by any kind of new technology. In my opinion, the horses of today are much better off than the horses a century ago. They are used for primarily recreational and sometimes even therapeutic purposes, and they are no longer treated as lifeless tools and objects. That wraps up our special for today. Thank you for watching. I'm Marissa Cloutier, and this is Equus News. Until next time, stay classy, Albion College.